Hi everyone, my name is Truc-Quan. I am the artist and business owner behind Modern Meliora, my watercolor floral stationery brand. Today is such a beautiful day outside. It's sunny, the birds are chirping, it's springtime here in the United States, and I figured it's the best possible day to do a painting outdoors. So that's what I'm going to do today. I will be painting in my watercolor block. The next video is going to be a time-lapse video of my process, and we're just gonna have a little chat. I will be sharing my story of how Modern Meliora came to be and where I'm currently at. So I hope you sit back, enjoy this video, and stay tuned for the next part. Thanks! Hi wonderful humans watching this video, my name is Truc-Quan and I'm the artist and CEO of Modern Meliora, a watercolor floral stationery brand. While I am drawing these pretty florals inspired by springtime, I wanted to share with you my personal journey and story of how Modern Meliora came to be. I started Modern Meliora last year in July of 2020. However, before I dive into this specific story, I want to take you back to the moment I discovered that I really enjoyed creating art. This is where my journey begins. I've always enjoyed creating, whether it was a PowerPoint for class or a clay structure for art class. It was in moments of creating where I felt like I was truly tapping into my energy. I could spend hours creating a PowerPoint, picking out fonts and being creative with slides. I didn't care too much about all the research I had to do in order to put that information on slides. I absolutely loved the design aspect of it. My favorite part of every class project was how I could go above and beyond to make my work look pretty and aesthetic. The overachiever in me also loved getting extra points on projects just for being creative. I guess I should have known then that creativity was one of my superpowers. However, I decided in 3rd grade that I wanted to be a doctor. Therefore, in high school, I dismissed all of my creativity and instead channeled it into studying hard for my STEM classes so I could get into a good pre-med program in college. Nevertheless, all of my hard work paid off as I got accepted into UC Davis, my top college, and into their biology major track. When I actually started my classes at Davis, I noticed that I wasn't very happy studying the courses I needed to fulfill my major requirements. I was struggling in chemistry and calculus. I didn't understand why I couldn't grasp these concepts as easily. I worked extra hard and attended office hours, but somehow I was still failing exams. I went from being a straight A student to getting my first C in a college course. College was a difficult transition for me at first, but I managed to survive my first year. My 2nd year of college, I joined a pre-health sorority because at this time, I was unsure if I wanted to stay pre-med, but I knew I wanted to do something in healthcare. During junior year, I remember some of my sorority sisters were talking about this medical mission trip in Peru during spring break. I've never traveled outside of the country before, so I thought this was a great opportunity for me to see Peru and help out in any way I could. Nonetheless, the trip was pretty expensive, and I realized I would have to earn the money myself if I wanted to afford the week-long spring break trip. I was starting to learn calligraphy months before the trip, and I was really enjoying the process of writing modern calligraphy and hand lettering. Fun fact, my mom told me that my name in Vietnamese means a bamboo stick that has been crafted into a calligraphy pen and can write beautiful calligraphy. I don't know how to fact check her, but I will definitely take her word for it. Anyway, after practicing calligraphy for some time, I had this idea where I could turn my hobby into a side hustle and raise some money for my mission trip. I advertised my services on free and for sale pages, and surprisingly, people were commissioning me for my art. In the span of a few months, I was able to raise enough money to cover half of my trip costs, and I had some of the best experiences in Peru. After my Peru trip, I still continued my side hustle and now even came up with a clever name for it, Truc-Calligraphy. Super original, combining my name and calligraphy, I know. Even though I really enjoyed calligraphy, I also wanted to try new art mediums and I wanted to explore the world of crafting. Eventually, I tried my hand at watercolors because I wanted to paint florals around my lettering. Watercolors is kind of hard to learn at first, but I would experiment with different techniques and try to learn by watching YouTube videos. Fast forward to 2020, when the pandemic happened, I noticed that I had extra time on my hands. Suddenly, Michael's became my favorite store, and I would spend hours trying to learn embroidery, macrame, resin art, etc. I absolutely enjoyed creating and was proud of everything I was making. My friends and family noticed all the things I was creating and encouraged me to keep making. That's when I had this idea to create a legitimate business selling my creations. Instead of truck calligraphy, I wanted a business name that would encompass my passions and philosophy. I chose Modern Meliora after weeks of coming up with names. Meliora translates to better or pursuit of better in Latin, and this was something that resonated with me because I wanted to be a better version of myself every day. To me, being better doesn't mean comparing myself to others and being better than anyone. I wanted to be better for myself and grow as an individual. On July 10th, 2020, I officially launched Modern Meliora on Etsy and opened myself up to the world. Instead of casually advertising my art and crafts to family and friends, I wanted to share my creations with the world. I didn't have any formal art training, besides an 8th grade art elective class or business training, maybe a 9th grade business elective class, but I had a vision that someday Modern Meliora would become a household name. Managing a business as an artist and CEO is probably one of the most difficult challenges I've ever faced. Every day was a new obstacle, and my inexperience as a business owner turned all of my hopes into self-doubt. The excitement of having a new business quickly wore off in the next couple months, and I was left with internal doubts about how I could do this all by myself. I didn't have a team of people, and in the middle of a pandemic, I felt pretty alone. I tried to learn everything from social media marketing, business finance, shipping with USPS, to product photography. These were all skills that I was not familiar with, and eventually I developed anxiety. I love creating art, but I didn't love waking up every morning with a sense of dread and failure because I thought I wasn't good enough to be handling a business. I don't know which direction I wanted to take my business or what art niche I wanted to pursue. I wanted to do it all. Eventually, I learned that as one person operating a business, I couldn't do it all. I slowly learned what was in my locus of control and what I enjoyed or didn't enjoy about my role. I started talking to a therapist when I thought I was reaching rock bottom, and she helped change my perspective. It's been almost a year since I started Modern Meliora, and I wouldn't change my experience. Through my journey as Modern Meliora, I discovered more about myself, what my strengths and growth points are. As for the direction of this business, I'm back to watercolors again. I love painting flowers and nature. Being an artist was not something I envisioned for my lifetime, but creating art and seeing the beauty in nature gives me purpose in life. If you are a hobbyist with dreams of starting your own art business, I definitely encourage you to chase that dream. Remember that the hardest part is sometimes just starting. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you soon in my next video. Bye!